Welcome to the second episode of the VTuber deck series. And as a second episode, we already have a special. Because the person we're gonna make a deck out of today is not a VTuber, but is a member of the community, is a veteran, is a pillar of the community, and you probably saw the title. I'm talking about Coefficient. Now, you guys know no Coefficient, no Papito, you know, an absolutely serious streamer and YouTuber.
Kikiriki, motherfucker.
Which has absolutely not put himself to shame in front of his own chat.
Hello, ruffians.
He's gonna kill me. He's, despite not being a VTuber, is a very important figure for the community. He is overall a very, very amazing creator, and it's one of the many gifts we received thanks to the VTuber boom. So, yeah. Now, enough talking, onto the list. So, if you watched my Dokibird deck video, nobody did, I said that making a deck for some creator, for some VTuber, or in this case, a non-VTuber but a VTuber fan, it can be quite hard. But for Coefficient, it wasn't the case. I already knew as soon as I thought about making a deck for Coefficient that it was gonna be easy. Now, Coefficient not only is very fond of Yu-Gi-Oh!, so making a deck for him is pretty much the best tribute I could possibly think of, but I also knew the correct archetype I had to choose in order to tribute him correctly. The archetype I chose is Vanquish Soul. Jedon my soul. No, wait. Hi, babe. What is Vanquish Soul about? Vanquish Soul is about, you know, those kind of fighting games, kinda like Dragon Ball Fighter Z, where you have multiple characters and you switch them in and out depending on what you need to do your combo. That's exactly what this deck is about with its main cards. Now, let's go over the deck very quickly, so we can just jump right into their replays as soon as possible. First of all, the support cards, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. As I said in the Dokibirds video, this card is not going anywhere unless a ban, a limit, or a power creep comes out. Her sister, Gospel Haunted Mansion, pretty good. Rhoda, this card is just amazing for warrior decks, and we happen to have a good warrior type starter. Pot of Prosperity, always good. Evenly matched if you need to go second. Then we have Small World. You need 4 degrees to play this card. I actually mess up in the first replay, so you're gonna see it. Troll Lockbird, I really like this card. Kashtera Ferrir is just a very good body to have on the field because it's a free banish for some reason. Who balanced this? And then we have Kurikara Divincarnate that in some cases it's a better version of Nibiru the Primal Being because it doesn't sacrifice your own monsters and it becomes a pretty big body. Then the monsters, the actual monsters for the archetype are Mad Love that combos well with Heavy Burger. You will see why, because essentially Heavy Burger, if you reveal a dark monster, allows you to draw a card. We have Vanquish Soul Razen, it searches other monsters. And then we have Vanquish Soul Pantera, which you don't really need it, but for some reason I feel like that Coefficient will enjoy this card very much. And then we have the big boss of the deck, which is Vanquish Soul Caesar Pie. Now, this deck, as you will see, requires you to have specific attributes in your hand to activate their effects. And as you probably notice, the effects activate according to the Earth, Fire and Dark archetype. Dark, Earth, Fire, Dark, Earth, Fire, Fire, Earth. I love it when decks have interaction with hand traps. Makes them not as bricky as they would elsewise be. So yeah, you will see the interactions, and it's very cool that you need to bounce back in your hand your own monsters to summon other monsters. It's literally like Fighter Z or any other fighting game with that mechanic. It's very fun. Then we have Stake Your Jet on My Soul, which is essentially a special summon, always good. Dust Devil, it's essentially Book of Moon. Vanquish Soul Snow Devil doesn't come out too much, but I decided to put it because it can happen. And then we have Trinity Burst that I will also mess up because I'm an idiot. I'm new to this deck. Guys, I just activate Branded Fusion and then pass the turn. Don't be too mad at me. For the extra deck, you don't really need the extra deck, so it's just filled with extra stuff that may come out. We have a couple of Zodiacs, but it's pretty much just Zeus projectiles, I guess. Bagushka, if you need to stall out a bit of turns just to draw the correct cards. As per Link monsters, we have Rock of the Vanquisher, which is the only Vanquish Soul extra deck monster. And then we have a couple other of Link monsters that can be useful. They all have different attributes, so you can activate Access Code Talker, but you don't really need any of these. You can replace it with cheaper versions, or you can just you essentially use your extra deck most of the time as a pot of prosperity, ammunition just to draw more cards. And then we have some other suggestions I have for the other cards, maybe cheaper cards to craft or buy. Extravagance, as said, you don't need extra deck, so banish random cards can be useful. Desires, whatever. In the meantime, I recorded and experimented with this deck. Summon Limit got banned, so I'm not gonna consider this. Dimension Shifter is good in this deck. The other Vanquish Soul, I didn't find a place to play them, so yeah. And then this other guy that has a pretty good effect, but as I said, you don't really need the extra deck in order to win the game with this deck. So this is all the introduction. You will see the power of this deck in the replays. But before that, I wanna gently ask you to subscribe. Making these videos takes a lot of time just by editing and learning the new decks, since to me these are all new decks and I basically learned them from scratch. So if you wanna support the channel in my hands, make sure you're subscribed. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So the first one, as you can tell by my surprise, has quite, first of all, this is the cover card I made. This was fun. So the first deck is gonna be Labyrinth. So Labyrinth is a control strategy, so we gotta pay very much attention to what they set back in the back row. And as you can see, I bricked. Marvelous. Off to a great start. I try to small ward, but as you can see, I mess up. Be mindful though of this Droll and Lockbird. This may be a mistake, but can be an happy mistake. I set one heavily match and pass, hoping that this is enough. So they're just gonna put the lady. Here I misplay, I don't activate my heavily matched.
I'm gonna just activate it now, banish that card, activate prosperity, get negated, put the other match in the back row and pass, hoping. So, one thing that played in my advantage is that this is a control strategy. So, the game is kinda slowed down here, but I knew I could rely on my draw power of the deck to try and turn this around for me, because I know this deck cannot OTK me, so I'm afraid to lose this, but I have hopes.
Hi,
So they're gonna lethal and vanish with my Evilly. And this is a truly heart of the cards moment, because I top deck Razen. And now Razen will allow me to search for any Vanquish Soul and play it from there. This is gonna be like my first turn, how it was supposed to be played. So I activate Razen, welcome Labyrinth, I ash the Labyrinth, the Battler is gonna special summon themselves for defense, I summon Vanquish, Rock of the Vanquisher and Borgir. Unfortunately, no Dark in my hand, so no draws. This guy's just gonna pass. Another Prospe, but I'm just gonna try Razen. He gets ashed. I'll Prospe now. So as you can see, there's nothing. So this was just bad for my hand. I attack with the zero attack monster for the lols. And I'm just gonna take my Borgir back. They're just gonna extravagance, give up some stuff. I special summon my Borgir. Again, no dark, so no draw. And now the draw to stop them from using any effects. And they're just gonna set anti-spell fragrance, but I don't need to rely on my spell cards at this moment. I do have Stake Your Soul, but at this moment I do not need it. I'm just gonna activate my other Razen, search for Caesar, get Razen on my hand, another time Vanquish Soul Rock, and I'm just gonna attack here for lethal and just win the game. This was insane. I don't know how did I win that. The heart of the cards. The next replay unfortunately doesn't have the same amount of hype. As you can see, it's Hurt Machines. This deck can be quite annoying because it has different powerhouses and can just burn me for damage. It's very hard to play. It's not a very big meta threat, but when it's against you, you know you are not in for an easy time. So this guy's just gonna combo off. I know nothing about this deck. Maybe one day, if a VTuber has a Hurt Machine team, I will probably study this deck better. But yeah, the situation is not great. I summon Razen to search up for Borgir, get Rock on the field, and just summon Madlove to search for Dust Devil. I'm just gonna try and save my Madlove. As you saw here, I made a little trick to stop their fortress to be any relevant on this turn. I put it face down, saved Madlove, which I have all copies in hand now, and got Borgir on the field and just started attacking. Now, they are gonna flip up their card, they're gonna combo stuff, I'm just gonna draw another Borgir, and they're gonna put... This is probably a major screw up by them, because they probably intended to have Citadel's effect and Gearframe's effect live on the field, but they probably are new with this deck and they did not realize that they're gonna have their effects negated, so they just timed out and the timer here is 5 minutes, so I had to wait 5 minutes for a move and they just left. That wasn't very nice of you, opponent, but it is what it is. The final replay is against Gravekeeper. Now, Gravekeeper is a very annoying deck. It's just probably overall a troll deck, but nothing really relevant at this point. It may be tilting, but So as you can see, I start my turn by normal summoning Razen and search up again for Borgir. Then I'm gonna activate Stake All Your Soul to get Mad Love on the field, and I'm just gonna chain and bounce it back to save it from any possible end trap they're gonna have on the hand, because I don't know what they have in hand, just in case. Like, now I know they did not have any card that could threaten me, but you never know. Better safe than sorry. So I'm just gonna draw a card, make rock, get my Razen in field, and set free. So they're just gonna activate Terraforming. I just chain, I get Ghost Bell, good. They're activating their field spell, I activate Rock, get Razen on the field, and get Caesar on the field. This is a misplay, because I activated Trinity Burst now instead of the end phase. So I will get Caesar on the field, Razen again, and as I bounced their Solemn Judgments, they could just set them back. So this was a major screw up by my side, but at the end of the day, I just activated the Caesar and Dust Devil as a chain lock. So I'm just gonna get rid of the cat, and I won anyway because they forfeited. They couldn't really do something about it. This deck is pretty fun. I actually enjoyed it more than I expected. Like, as I said, I usually activate Branded Fusion and then pass. But yeah, this was a pretty fun deck. I hope you liked it. So, as everybody says, if you enjoyed, remember, there's a subscription button, there's a like button, there's a comment section you can use. So, thanks for watching. Bye.